It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. It's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. Here comes the All-Pro returner from last year, Rashid Shaheed. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Carr going to throw right away. And incomplete to open things up. You talk about this Falcon defense. They were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Going for the deep ball. And got his man complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints need just 2 plays on their opening drive to take the early lead. Blake Groupie now for the extra point. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. And they'll accept that penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. This defense for the Saints, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. They'll throw with Penix. And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. Allen's first catch, good for a first down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass in the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know, he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Again, it's Camaro. And this will wind up a Saints first down as he's able to take this up to the 30-yard line. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
Carr gonna throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. You talk about this Falcon defense. They were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
Now Carr. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up 3rd down now. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. He'll buy some time right. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And it will be Falcon football. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. They'll run this one right with Robinson. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, first down Falcons.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they can...
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Saints are going to get the football here at their own 23. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down. Toss wide side. This is Kamara. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
3rd and 4. Now Carr. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
And he's going to get this one down to the 45. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. They run it again with Kamara. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Saints 7, Falcons 0.
The Saints with the football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. To throw his Carr. That is caught. He's going to pick up the first down and then some. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 31 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling the back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
Throwing now is Carr. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll go for it. It's Carr. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And they work this out past the 25. 50 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. I don't think that's what the defensive coordinator had in mind there. You got him pinned back inside the 5, and then you let him rip off that long run.
You're already anticipating the film session, aren't you?
There's going to be some anger.
Yeah, there's not going to be at the greatest hits, is it? Because they didn't hit anyone on that play. Supposed to have them pinned back deep. Instead, they leave a big crack, a gaping hole, and guess what? They're in bad position right now.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's second down.
The Falcons hit 3-0 here in the month of September. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Robinson up the middle.
The solid stiff arm. Oh, he sheds himself free. He may go. Touchdown, Falcons.
His 5th rushing touchdown on the year, number 9 overall. And the Falcons are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. Or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him down. Otherwise, he will continue downfield and find pay dirt.
Extra point attempt here still to come. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do.
Now 2nd and 9.
Now Carr. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and sending him back on the side.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense. They kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Here's Carr to throw. He's going to air one out. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix.
Escaping the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long.
And looking to throw, Penix. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Boy, tough spot here as they approach the line of scrimmage. A long way to go to try to pick up this 1st down. On 3rd down, Robinson.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line.
Brandon, you're never quite sure what the side judge or the field judge is going to rule there. That was awfully close, but in the end, he says it passed over the 1-yard line, and that's where they're going to mark it out. I mean, you can see it right there, right? See him walking up the sideline? Told him to stop right there at the 1.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Two yards to go, 2nd down.
Here's Carr. He sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
To throw, it's Carr. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. Carr. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Carr now to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's caught at the 25. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
He's already got 1 touchdown this first half already. That very nearly was a 2nd. Defensively, they're going to have to figure something out because he's been able to outrun the defenders early and often so far.
They'll look to throw again. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
So it looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
In motion, right goes Allen.
Again, it's Carr. That's going to be caught. A
driving for the goal line, but he's marked down short. And with no timeouts, no chance to get the field goal unit out there. And frustration going to set in, as that is going to be how this first half will come to a close.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score.
Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
2nd down and 6 now from the 26. They'll go play action here with Penix.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Here's Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he'll push forward to the 37, gain of 2.
2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going.
Looking to throw, Penix. This ball down the field for Pitts.
It's caught inside the 25. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Kyle Pitts.
63 yards. And the Falcons have taken the lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. Just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
Oh, the return is Jones from the end zone. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
And he'll get it here on the touch pass. A great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line.
It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Well, backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
From the gun, it's Carr. And that is incomplete.
How about the coverage we just saw? Out on 3rd down. Dime defense. Blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed. Unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. On the give, here's Robinson. And he'll be stopped at the 46, gain of 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now Penix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Look at the big fella go.
Touchdown, Falcons.
Kyle Pitts
With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year.
And the Falcons have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Shotgun now for Carr.
Looking right side, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Jesse Bates.
Well, certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
He's got his man, London, right side.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Drake London, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
Oh, the return is Jones from the end zone. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now Carr. It's caught left side by Cooks. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Now Carr again.
He completes it to Olave.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 17-yard line. Carr going to throw.
That'll be taken in by Shaheed.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up first and goal.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnson. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Juwan Johnson, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Saints are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter.
The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
So first and 10 now from the 30. They begin the drive with Robinson.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down.
A gain of 3, second down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
In motion, the tight end. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out.
Second and 7. Hand off now to Robinson.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
On third down, Penix from the gun. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 22 there on the third down conversion.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
To the air, Penix. That's to the former Bear, Darnell Mooney.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 29-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are right back in this football game. And now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the fourth.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no. But the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores. That is incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it go again. This is intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes.
And the Falcons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's Carr to throw.
Back to Kamara for another catch.
And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. It's his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one. That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Carr, got to have this one. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Troy Anderson. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there, and that pick six will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get, so really you're almost at the point of no option. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you got to throw the football. Had the right defense call, able to make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Kamara up the middle. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
To throw his Carr. Setting up the screen for Miller. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 14 yards is the pickup, 1st down, New Orleans.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And that's complete downfield to Cooks. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Carr, a quick throw. It's complete. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Well, this likely a must-have. 3rd and goal. On play action. Now Carr. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Taysom Hill from 6 yards away. And the Saints have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Groupie for the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
Makes the score Falcons 35, Saints 21. Groupie to kick off for the Saints.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. Robinson is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. And this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brad, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure, but they're the type of team that can fight and handle it. They stood up with confidence and made it happen for a victory.
So for Atlanta, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they'll fall back to 500 and 2-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs.